You are not allowed in my school.
I'm really sorry, sir.
Sorry, huh? That word means nothing.
I won't do it anymore. I'm really sorry.
I saw you and your friends, vandalizing outside of the school. You! Get out! Out!
Can I correct my mistake, please?
Ha! Corrective mistake. Not you, and not any of your classmates. Because all of you are mistaken.
Then who can cancel my punishment?
Good question. I've never seen someone who can cancel your punishment, because he must have these 3 characteristics. 1, he must be a student in my school. 2, he must be related to 3, he must have never made a mistake before.
A student? Related to me? Never done a mistake? I'm in big trouble now.
See, I told you that you have no chance. Finally, you're gonna get out of my school. And your dad, it's gonna hurt him really bad. Now get out of here! Get out! Finally, I can hurt his dad. Everybody's talking about how he's such a noble man. Yeah, right. He's not going to be able to save his son. This time I've got him. He's doomed. What? How did you get here?
I'm here instead of my son. He broke the law of the school.
But only a student who has never broken the law can redeem him.
I am his father. A student, as you can see. And I have never broken the law.
What about your son's mistake?
I will correct his mistakes. I will clean the graffiti after school.
What about his homework? He is a student in the school, remember?
No problem. I will do his homework every day.
I guess.
I guess we have no problems then. I have satisfied all your requirements. All your requirements. I have done all of my son's homework, and I washed away all the graffiti. My son is in.
What about me?
You are out. Out forever. You cannot touch my son again.
Incarnation and features of the Redeemer. When God created man, man was created in his image and his likeness. When sin entered into the world, the image got corrupted, and man did not resemble our Lord. St. Paul says in Romans 5:12, just as through one man sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men because all sinned. He adds in the same chapter, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over those who had not sinned according to the likeness of the transgression of Adam, who is a type of him who was to come. By the one man's offense, many died. So, there was a need for a Redeemer. Our Lord needed to redeem His Son, His creation. God could have said, I don't need it, I could create a new one. But because He is God, He cares for His Son and His creation. He has to find out who would be the right Redeemer. And the Redeemer has many characteristics. The first one, He needs to be human. You can't have an angel or archangel redeem a man. Exactly, you can't get an attorney from Mars to defend a human being on earth. He is not in his nature. So he has to have a human nature. Two, he needs to be sinless. You can't have an attorney who committed the same crime defending another person for the same crime. So the Redeemer needs to be human, and the Redeemer needs to be sinless. The Redeemer needs to be mighty, because he is going to stand before also a mighty devil who wants to corrupt the image of the creation of our Lord. Four, this Redeemer needs to have a very special characteristic. He needs to be able to resurrect, because as a human, he needs to carry the same sin, and the wage of sin is death. So this Redeemer needs to be human, able to die, but what good is it for me if my Redeemer is going to die like me, period? I need him to die, then to resurrect. And not only to resurrect, able to recreate me into a resurrected creature. In summary, he needs to be human, ready and able to die. He needs to be sinless, without a sin. He needs to be mighty. He needs to resurrect, and he needs to be able to recreate his creation. So not an angel, nor an archangel, not a prophet or an archprophet was able or was entrusted in our salvation as per St. Gregory liturgy. And that's why St. Paul in Hebrews 2, he says, inasmuch as the children have partaken of flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared in the same, meaning shared in the same flesh and blood, took our human nature, took upon himself to be human too, that through death he might destroy him, meaning the devil, who had the power of death, that is the devil, and release those who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Saint Athanasius, in the book of the Incarnation, has a very important statement. He says, thus it happened that two opposite marvels took place at once. The death of all was consummated in the Lord's body, yet because the Word was in it, death and corruption were in the same act utterly abolished. Death there had to be, and death for all, so that the due of all might be paid. Wherefore the Word, as I said, being himself incapable of death, assumed a mortal body. He meant the Word, meaning the Logos, the Son of God, who is immortal, unable to die, took upon himself the nature of being human in order for him to be like us, that he might offer it as his own in place of all, and suffering for the sake of all through his union with it. And that's why Saint Athanasius also said, he took what is ours and he gave us what's his. And as you have seen in the episode of the Dogma in Action, this teacher who represented the devil wanted to cast out the son of the nobleman. But the nobleman needed to be human, needed to be a student, needed to be able to do all the chores of what the student have done. And at the end, needed to replace and bring his son back in his position. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dogma in Action. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.